Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Extra Time, the bonus feature to our Sunday session, in which this week we've been looking at the Gospel of John. Whereas the other three books of Matthew, Mark and Luke have a fair amount in common with each other, John's Gospel, as we explored, has a slightly different flavour to it, a more cosmic feel perhaps, as the big picture of Jesus Christ is unpacked. And so with this cosmic content in mind, here's an opening, lighter couple of questions to give us lift off this week. If you won a free return flight into space, would you take up the offer? And then secondly, how likely do you think it is that there are other forms of life in the universe? Now, as we unpacked, John's opening to his gospel, known as his prologue, presents Jesus in both an elevated and grounded way. There is this cosmic understanding of Jesus as the Word who spoke creation into being, at the same time as being the one who came to dwell with us here on earth. With this in mind, I mentioned the writings of Richard Rohr, who suggests an understanding of Jesus as both the cosmic Christ and Jesus of Nazareth, a way perhaps of trying to get our heads around the mystery of just who Jesus Christ is. I mentioned too that I tend to find it easier to focus on Jesus of Nazareth than the cosmic Christ, but that perhaps I do well to explore the cosmic aspects of Jesus in order to deepen my appreciation, perhaps my worship of what God's grace and truth involves. And so, what about you? Is this idea of Jesus of Nazareth and the cosmic Christ one which you find helpful? Which aspects of Jesus Christ do you tend to focus on in your faith? And how might we work on the shadow side of our understanding of Jesus Christ? Now, we reflected on the significance of John's approach in seeing Jesus' miracles as signs which pointed to a deeper truth. And so let's tackle the question I put forward in the session in response to this. Remember, we asked this one. As you look at your experience, what would you say are the signs of God's grace and truth at work in your life? And then follow up to this. Why do you think John puts grace and truth together in particular in his description of Jesus in John chapter 1 verse 14? Alright, well, one of the things we didn't have time to cover in this session so much is the wealth of material which is only found in John's Gospel and not in the other three. So, this exclusive content of John includes stories like Jesus turning water into wine at a wedding in Cana, Jesus' nighttime conversation with Nicodemus, Jesus talking with the Samaritan woman at the well, Jesus healing the man at the pool of Bethesda, the blind man at the pool of Siloam, Jesus' raising of Lazarus, and Jesus washing his disciples' feet. Equally though, John doesn't include any parables of Jesus, any exorcisms he performs, and generally we encounter a Jesus who talks in long statements rather than the pithier sayings in the other Gospels. And so, thinking through the way in which we've now seen Jesus presented in each of the four Gospels, this will test your memory, I know, but which of the four Gospel accounts of Jesus are you most drawn to, and why? And if you were writing your own Gospel of Jesus' life, which stories would you make a priority of including, and why? And then finally, for today, let's conclude with thinking about the wider community of which we're a part. And so, perhaps chew on this one to close. of all the aspects of Jesus' life and character, which do you think would be particularly regarded as good news by those you live alongside? And then secondly, how might your answer shape the way we live out and share our faith? Okie dokie, that'll do for today, and that'll do for the time being, in fact. There is a final Sunday session for now on its way next week before we break for the summer, so do tune into that. And I guess after that, we'll see what church life looks like at St John's for how we take things forward from September onwards. We'll definitely be putting some content out in the future on YouTube, so do subscribe to the channel though as a way of finding out what that is and when it appears. So see you next week for the Sunday session, but until then, thanks very much for engaging with these extra times over recent months, and hopefully they provided you with some food for thought at least. For now though, take care as we navigate this lifting of restrictions, and may you know God's love, joy and peace this summer and beyond. Alright, bye for now.